Hello and welcome to IMI Productions' Current Consequences of Islamic Thought. Today we will be looking at the imposition of Islamic ideas in Australia. Recently, on the 24th of February 2017, there was an article in the Courier Mail entitled "Respect Islam or Women, Not Both." One of the major issues we found reported in the article was how Islamists are trying to impose their ideas into Australian society. It was reported that some students from Hurstville Boys campus of Georges River College would refuse to shake hands when receiving awards from women because of their Muslim faith. We're joined by Daniel Scot to elaborate a little more on this tension between men and women in Islam, according to their authoritative texts and historical development. So Daniel, over to you. Please tell us how they get their ideas, or where they get their ideas from, and how you think it may affect Australia in the long run.
Actually, women in Islam, Muslim will claim, some, or not all, but some Muslim will claim, like a woman has very high respect in Islam, and they are equal. But the reality is, according to Quran, Surah 2, verse 253. Let me read that for you. Surah 2, verse 223. Your women are a tillith. Tillith means field, piece of land. So your women are a tillith for you to cultivate. So go to your tillith as you will, and send good deeds before you for your soul, and fear Allah, and know that ye will one day meet Him. Give glad tidings to believers, O Muhammad. So what we see here, Allah is telling Muslim that women are like a field, like piece of land. So you use them whenever you wish and however you want to use them. So according to the Holy Book of Islam, the Quran, woman is like a piece of land. It's not of much value. It's like, and then it says in the Quran many things. We are not discussing more in depth, and some other time we can talk on that issue. But this thing, woman, like in that article which you referred to, it says they refer to hadith there, that according to that hadith, Muslims are forbidden to touch women, unrelated women. So that's the hadith. But the sad thing is that if we just start obeying Quran and hadith, then we are Islamicizing the society, which is a very dangerous move. And you know that many people, even Muslims, they run from harsh Islamic laws and they take refuge in Australia and other Western countries. Now, if we're bringing Islam here by stealth, this Islam by stealth, then we'll be in very bad shape. Because according to Quran, it says in Quran, Surah 25, let me read Surah 25, verse 52, it says, so obey not the disbelievers, but strive against them herewith a great endeavor. So Allah is teaching Muslim people that they should not obey disbelievers, rather they should fight against them with great endeavor. So that's commandment of Allah. Now if we tell them, okay, that's, you have to kill me, you have to fight against me because your Allah tells you to do that, so then what will be the society? So we need to stand for values which are actually makes Australia Australian. But if we are buying the values of Islam, then we are really selling our birthright, and will be not much different than Saudi Arabia or Iran or Pakistan. And that's the sad thing. The sad thing is that academics are not doing their job honestly, so they are trying to hide the real Islam, and they are just telling people according to the tickling of their ear. So they are making Islam good, not looking at what really Quran teaches. It's not only one verse in Quran which Allah says to disregard disbeliever. There are many other verses, like I mentioned in this book, a critique of learning from one another, bringing Muslim perspective into Australian schools. On page 36, I've listed that Muslims are forbidden to obey non-Muslim. Surah 26, verse 151, Surah 33, verse 1, Surah 68, verse 8, Surah 76, verse 24. There are many other verses. And then it says that Jews and Christians are the most wicked, most evil of all the creatures. In Arabic it says Shar al-Baraya, that means the most evil, heinous of all animals. So that's Surah 90, 8 verse 6. So if we just start to obey Quran and Hadith because that's the teaching, then we are not helping. And you know that where people have done that, like in Europe they did that, and now there are literally hundreds of no-go areas in various Islamic Western countries, like in Sweden, in France, in England, and so on. So are we paving the way that Muslims should start making the enclaves where there's no-go areas and they can do whatever they want to do? So,
well, thank you very much, Daniel. That's very insightful there for us to consider. Now, it's definitely not the place that we would like to see Australia go. Now, we know that although Australia is not a Christian country per se, it was nonetheless founded on strong Christian principles by strong Christians. And now, in fact, the entire foundation of Australia was Christian, from the governors to the Act to constitute the Commonwealth of Australia. And in fact, the Act, it stated, and I quote, it says that the states which were constituted were, quote, humbly relying on the blessing of Almighty God, unquote. And now, given the background of the Act and foundation, this Almighty God was none other than the one and only true God, that is the triune God of Christianity. Hence it is almost suicidal, I guess, for Australia to allow the imposition of foreign religions into our society. So, ladies and gentlemen, the real question here is, what will we do to protect our heritage as Australians? And what will we do as Christians to ensure that Christ's honour and glory are maintained in our land? So thank you once again, Daniel, and thank you everyone for joining us in our talk. And please join us in the next one. Thank you and God bless.
you're welcome. Thank you.